Something has been shifting in the background of your life, Taurus, slowly and with the kind of quiet certainty that only Earth energy truly understands. You may not have been able to name it yet. It has been moving the way things move for you. Not in sudden rushes or dramatic turns, but in a steady deep current that does not make noise. You have been going about your days, tending to the things that matter to you, carrying what needs to be carried, moving forward with your usual patient strength. But underneath all of that, something has been rearranging itself. The pieces of your life have been quietly finding their places. And before this month is over, not in a distant, hopeful someday, but in the near and very real time ahead, things are going to click into place. Not all at once. That is not how it works for you, and it is not how it should work. The shifts will come in layers, in moments, in small recognitions that build into something unmistakable. These are the 11 ways it will happen. Read each one with an open heart and a quiet mind. You will find that more than one of them already feels familiar. 1. The right people begin to appear at exactly the right moments. You have spent enough time in this life to know that not all meetings are accidental. Some people appear in our path because life sends them there. They arrive when we need them, not necessarily when we want them, not always in the form we expected, but exactly when the timing is right and their presence serves a purpose that we may not even fully understand until later. For you, Taurus, this is already beginning to happen. The right people, the ones who carry something you need, the ones who see you clearly, the ones who have something to offer your journey at this particular moment, are finding their way to you. You may have already noticed one or two of them. A person who appeared in your life recently and surprised you with how naturally the conversation flowed. Someone who said something that stayed with you long after the moment had passed. A reconnection with a person from an earlier chapter of your life, arriving now with a new energy, as though whatever needed to be resolved between you has quietly sorted itself out and left room for something better. You are not someone who forms connections casually. Your nature runs deep, and the relationships you invest in fully. That means the people who matter to you truly matter. And what is happening now is that your circle, or perhaps a specific corner of your world, is being refreshed. The people who were meant to walk alongside this chapter of your life are being drawn into your orbit. Some of them will open doors. Some of them will offer a perspective you did not know you were missing. Some of them will simply be a source of warmth and belonging in a season where warmth is exactly what you need. Do not dismiss the meetings that feel easy and natural, as though you have known the person far longer than you have. Do not dismiss the reconnections that feel different this time, softer, more honest, more true. These are not accidents. They are part of the alignment that is already underway. Life is sending you the right people, Taurus. The question is simply whether you are open enough to receive what they are bringing. 2. A financial or material matter that has been stuck begins to move forward. There are few things more frustrating for you, Taurus, than a material situation that refuses to move. You are a sign that values stability, security, the tangible evidence that your life is on solid ground. You are not obsessed with wealth in a shallow sense, you simply understand at a very deep level the peace of mind that comes with knowing your practical foundation is sound. When something in your material world has been stuck, it weighs on you. It sits in the back of your mind with a low, constant presence. You deal with it, you manage around it, you keep moving because that is what you do. But you feel it. The financial or material matter that has been moving slowly, or not moving at all, is about to change its pace. Something is going to shift. An application that has been waiting for a response. A plan that has been stalled by circumstances outside your control. A flow that was interrupted and has been trying to find its way back. A solution that has been forming slowly, gathering the pieces it needs to become real. Whatever the specific form in your life, the stuck thing is becoming unstuck. The energy around your material world is opening. Not in a sudden dramatic windfall, though a pleasant surprise is not impossible, but in the more characteristic Taurus way, where steady progress begins to feel real, where the next step becomes visible, where the thing that seemed frozen begins to thaw and flow again. Pay attention to this. Watch for small signs that a practical matter is beginning to move. A message you were not expecting. A conversation that leads somewhere useful. A shift in a situation that frees up something that was held. The material world is one of the places where your sign is most powerful, and right now that power is being activated. The ground beneath your practical life is not as stuck as it has been. It is beginning to move forward. If what you are hearing feels accurate, Know that it could happen if you applied this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. 3. A burden you have been carrying quietly begins to feel lighter. You carry things quietly, Taurus. That is your nature. You do not ask for help easily, and you do not often let people see how much you are holding. You keep moving. You keep showing up. You keep being the steady, reliable presence that others around you have come to count on. And all of this is genuinely beautiful. Your capacity to endure, to carry, to remain stable when everything else feels uncertain. This is one of your great gifts. But there is a cost to carrying things alone for a long time. And lately, the weight has been real. There has been something on your shoulders, in your heart, in the back of your mind. A concern, a responsibility, a grief, a worry. A situation that has been draining your energy even on the days when you appear perfectly fine to everyone around you. This burden is about to begin releasing. Not all at once, not in a single dramatic moment of lifting, but in the gradual, steady way that feels most natural to you. You will notice it first as a small softening, a breath that comes more easily, a morning that feels less heavy than the one before, a sense that whatever you have been bracing against is beginning to ease. This lightening happens for different reasons at different times. Sometimes a practical situation resolves itself. Sometimes someone steps in to share a load you have been carrying alone. Sometimes it is an internal shift, a releasing of the need to control what cannot be controlled, a letting go of what was never yours to carry in the first place. Whatever causes it, the lightning is coming. And for you who has been so steady and so strong for so long, this feeling of something lifting even slightly is going to feel like grace. Let it come. You do not have to earn relief. You do not have to justify the rest. You have been carrying this long enough. Allow the burden to begin to ease. 4. Your instincts, which are always right, become even sharper. You have learned over the course of your life to trust the quiet knowing that lives inside you. Not always. There have been times when you have overridden it with logic, with practicality, with the desire to give something more time than it deserved. But deep down, you know that your instincts do not lie to you. That inner signal, that feeling in the body, that quiet but unmistakable sense of something being right or wrong, it has guided you well when you have listened to it. And right now, that inner sense is sharpening. You may have already noticed it. A feeling about a situation that turns out to be exactly right. A hesitation about something that later proves to have been wise. A pull toward something or someone that surprises you with how clearly it is leading you somewhere good. Your instincts are not decorative, Taurus. They are not something to check against logic and then set aside. They are one of the most powerful tools you possess. They carry the accumulated wisdom of everything you have lived through, everything you have observed, everything you have felt in your body over the course of a life fully and deeply experienced. What is happening now is that the signal is getting clearer. The noise that sometimes makes it hard to hear, the noise of other people's opinions, of fear, of old stories you have told yourself, is quieting. And in that quiet, your instincts are speaking with a clarity they have not had in a while. Listen. When you feel something, do not dismiss it. When a choice presents itself in one direction, feels right in a way that goes beyond what you can explain, go in that direction. When you sense that something is not as it appears, trust that sense. Your inner knowing is being calibrated right now to a higher degree of accuracy. What it tells you in this period can be relied upon. 5. A closed door develops a crack of light that was not there before. There has been a door, Taurus. A door you looked at for a long time, one that did not open when you hoped it would, one that stayed closed while you stood on the other side of it, patient as you always are, but quietly aware of everything you felt was on the other side. Maybe it was an opportunity that seemed to vanish before you could reach it. Maybe it was a relationship that reached a point of impasse. Maybe it was a dream, a plan, a direction for your life that seemed to be blocked by circumstances that were simply not in your control. You moved on, or at least you moved around it. You found ways to keep living fully, to keep building, to keep being the Taurus that you are. But you never entirely forgot what was on the other side of that door. And here is what is happening now. That closed door is developing a crack of light. You may have already seen a flicker of it. A sign that something which seemed finished is not as finished as it appeared. A conversation that reopened something you thought was sealed. A circumstance shifting just enough to reveal that the path you thought was blocked still has a passage through it. This crack of light is not a guarantee. It is an opening. It is an invitation. And what you do with it, how you respond when you notice it, matters. You do not need to throw yourself through the door. You do not need to rush. You simply need to be awake to the fact that the light is there, that something that was closed is becoming less closed, and that there is a possibility worth turning your gentle, powerful attention toward. The door is not fully open, but light is coming through. And for Taurus, who knows how to work with slow and steady, a crack of light is more than enough to begin. 6. A relationship moves toward resolution, healing, or a deeper truth. The relationships in your life are not casual things. You do not form bonds without meaning. When you love someone in friendship, in family, in romance, in the quiet devotion of long acquaintance, you love them with a depth and a loyalty that most people only dream of experiencing. And because your bonds run so deep, the unresolved tensions within them can run just as deep. A relationship that is carrying something unresolved, a misunderstanding, a wound, an old grievance, an unspoken truth, carries it in you as much as it carries it between you. You feel the distance. You feel the incompleteness. You feel the way things might be if only something could shift. That shift is coming. One of the important relationships in your life is moving toward resolution, or toward a healing that has been quietly needed, or toward a deeper truth that both of you are finally ready to stand in. This may look like a conversation that has been overdue finally arriving. It may look like a softening between two people who have been maintaining a careful distance. It may look like a truth being admitted that changes the nature of the relationship in a way that is actually a relief, even if the truth itself is not easy. Whatever form it takes, something in a relationship that has been incomplete is moving toward a kind of completion. And for you, Taurus, who invests so fully in the people you love, this resolution will land in the very center of your heart. It will feel like something clicking into place, like finally being able to take a full breath in a room that had felt slightly airless. The relationship matters to you, and the healing it is moving toward matters to the both of you, even if only one of you has been aware of how much. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment, and you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. 7. Your sense of purpose becomes clearer than it has been in a long time. There are seasons in a life when purpose feels close and clear, and seasons when it feels foggy, distant, hard to name. You are moving out of a foggy season and into clarity now. The sense of why you are here, what matters most to you, what you want your days to feel like in your life to add up to, these things are sharpening. You may feel it as a growing certainty about a direction you have been considering, or as a rising dissatisfaction with ways of living that no longer feel aligned with who you truly are, or as a quiet but increasing pull towards something you have been setting aside, telling yourself it was not the right time, telling yourself there would be a better moment later. The better moment is arriving. Purpose for someone like you, Taurus, is not a grand abstract idea. It is something felt in the body, rooted in what you value, connected to the things that bring you a sense of being genuinely alive. You are very clear when you are clear about what those things are. And that clarity is returning now. It is not coming in a way that will require you to overturn your life or make dramatic changes overnight. It is coming in the quieter way that real purpose arrives, as a deepening of knowing, as a sense of settling into what is truly yours. Pay attention to what is pulling at you. Pay attention to the moments in your day when you feel most like yourself, most alive, most in alignment with what you genuinely care about. Those moments are your compass right now, and they are becoming more reliable, more frequent, more clear. Let them show you where you are headed. 8. Rest and renewal arrive when you need them most. One of the things that Taurus sometimes forgets, in its quiet, steady endurance, is that rest is not weakness. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not giving up or falling behind. Rest is one of the most powerful things an earth sign can choose. It is the fallow field that prepares itself for a new season of growth. It is the pause between movements that gives the next movement its strength. For someone who carries as much as you do, who shows up as reliably as you do, who holds things together with such steady hands, rest is not optional. It is essential. And right now it is arriving. Not as a collapse, not as a forced stop, though even those have their wisdom, but as something gentler. A moment of ease in the middle of a demanding stretch. A surprising afternoon of quiet. An opportunity to step back from a situation that has been asking too much of you for too long, and simply breathe. Sleep that feels more restoring than it has in a while. A conversation that refreshes rather than drains. A day that asks nothing of you except your own quiet presence. Receive this. Do not feel guilty for resting. Do not tell yourself you should be doing more when life is offering you this particular gift. The rest that is coming your way before this month is over is not a sign that things are slowing down. It is a sign that the next phase of your forward movement is being prepared. You cannot bring your full strength to what comes next if you arrive there depleted. Life knows this. The rest is not an accident. It is care. 9. A creative or practical vision you had almost abandoned comes back with energy. There is something you had once. An idea, a plan, a vision of something you wanted to create or build or bring into being. It was real to you when it first arrived. It excited you in the quiet, steady way that things excite a Taurus. Not with wild, temporary enthusiasm, but with the deeper warmth of something that truly aligns with your values and your sense of beauty, and your desire to build something that lasts. And then something happened. Circumstances got in the way. The timing was wrong. You had to redirect your energy towards something more urgent. Or maybe you simply waited too long and doubt crept in, and you began to wonder if the vision was really meant for you after all. You set it aside. Maybe you told yourself it was gone, but it was not gone. It was waiting, and right now it is coming back. You will feel it as a return of interest in something you thought you had moved on from. A memory of the idea arriving with a warmth you had forgotten it carried. A sense that the circumstances that blocked it before are different now, that what was impossible then might actually be possible now. The practical or creative vision that has been lying dormant in you is stirring. The energy it needs to become real is returning. This is not nostalgia. This is not wishful thinking. This is the timing finally catching up with the vision. For Taurus, who builds slowly and with great care, a vision that was ahead of its time simply needs the time to be right. The time is becoming right. Let the idea back in. Let the energy find you again. It has been waiting patiently, which in its own way makes it a very Taurus kind of dream. 10. Confirmations arrive from unexpected places that you are on the right path. You have been asking yourself this question even if you have not asked it out loud. You have been wondering in your quiet, steady way whether you are on the right path, whether the choices you have made, the directions you have taken, the things you have let go of and the things you have held on to, whether all of it has been adding up to something that matters. The question is not fear. It is the natural inquiry of a thoughtful person who takes their life seriously. And the answer is coming. Not in a single grand announcement, not in a thunderclap of certainty, but in the form of confirmations arriving from places you did not expect. A person saying something to you that mirrors exactly what you have been thinking. A situation resolving in a way that validates a choice you had second-guessed. An opportunity appearing that could only have appeared because of the path you were already on, meaning your path led you directly to this opening. A feeling settling in without any particular cause, that things are moving in the right direction. These confirmations will not all be dramatic. Some of them will be very small. A book falling open to a page that speaks directly to something you needed to hear. A conversation that unexpectedly echoes a truth you have been working toward. A quiet morning that arrives with an inexplicable sense of rightness. Pay attention to these moments. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. They are the universe's way of answering the question you have been quietly asking. You are on the right path, Taurus. The confirmations are coming. 11. A quiet, deep knowing settles in. You are exactly where you are meant to be. This is the deepest alignment of all, and perhaps the most powerful one. Not because it changes anything in the external world, not because it opens a new door or resolves a stuck situation, but because it changes something inside you. And that internal change is the foundation of everything else. Before this month is over, there will be a moment, or more than one moment, when something settles in you. A quiet, deep knowing. Not excitement, not relief, not the temporary high of good news, something much more lasting and much more grounding than any of those things. It will feel like arriving, like coming home to yourself after a long journey, like placing your feet firmly on solid ground after a stretch of uncertainty and feeling the earth hold you. This knowing is not the same as having all the answers. You will not suddenly understand everything or have a clear map of what comes next. But you will have something that is, in many ways, more valuable. You will have the settled sense that where you are right now is not a mistake. That the path you have walked, with all its detours and pauses and unexpected turns, has brought you to exactly this place for a reason. That you are not behind. That you are not lost. That you are, in the deepest sense, exactly where you are meant to be. For Taurus, this kind of knowing is not small. It is enormous, because your well-being is rooted in stability, in groundedness, in the feeling that your foundation is solid. And the most solid foundation of all is the knowledge that you are in the right place, at the right time, moving in the right direction. This knowing is coming for you. Let it settle in. Let it stay. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal, and you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. Taurus, what you have just heard is a portrait of a season that is already unfolding around you and within you. The alignment that is coming before this month ends is not something you need to force or rush or make happen through sheer effort. It is something you are allowing by staying open, by trusting your instincts, by continuing to show up with the steady, deep, genuinely beautiful energy that you carry. You have been through seasons of waiting, seasons of uncertainty, seasons where things moved slower than you wanted and the path was harder to see. But you stayed. You always stay. And that is not weakness. That is not stubbornness. That is the extraordinary power of your nature, the power of someone who knows that real things take real time, and who is willing to give that time without losing faith. The 11 ways you have heard today are not promises made lightly. They are reflections of the energy that is already in motion around your sign. The people arriving, the burdens lifting, the clarity returning, the knowing settling in. These are all real movements in a season that is turning in your favor. You deserve this turning. You have earned it, not by being perfect but by being persistent. By continuing to put one steady foot in front of the other even when the path was not clear. By loving deeply, building carefully, and holding on with the quiet strength that only Taurus truly possesses. As this month draws toward its close, watch for the moments of clicking into place. Watch for the small confirmations. Watch for the people and the conversations and the inner shifts that tell you, this is it. This is the moment you have been building toward. When it arrives, be present for it. Not in your head, not in your planning, not in the careful management of every detail, just present. In your body, in your heart, in the deep earth of who you are. That presence is your greatest gift. And the alignment that is coming is very, very close.